It's December 1991, and today I told my mother I was diagnosed with HIV. Perhaps I shouldn't have. She's in the hospital with a recurrence of breast cancer. I'm sure she was frightened and scared for herself before I called. My sister says, Mom's not good at dealing with depression, and I was certain she was struggling with it at that point. I knew I'd be risking her sinking further into depression. Well, she may have already been knee-deep into it, but just wasn't admitting it to her children. After all, that would have meant she'd have to acknowledge her feelings, and, well, that would have set off alarms. You see, my mother was never a touchy-feely person. My sister says that in her youth, our mother cut her mother down as she was trying to hang herself. Maybe that's why she was never emotional. Maybe emotion scared the shit out of her. Maybe she was afraid she'd become overwhelmed and lose control like her mother did. Still, knowing all this, I felt compelled to tell her my diagnosis, despite my own unemotional, better judgment. It's just that I found myself pulsating with a primal need, as if my mother and I were still connected umbilically. And instead of life coursing through the cord that bound us to each other, it was now the bloodlessness of death. When I called and told her about my status, I waited for an answer, only to be met with what felt like interminable silence. Finally, she said, I know you're going through a lot, but don't call me again. I felt a curtain slowly descend between us. Motherhood is what's expected of women, but not every woman is meant to be a mother. They don't all have the maternal instinct. Today I told my mother I was diagnosed with HIV. Perhaps I shouldn't have. But I'm someone who's emotionally driven by the umbilical connection between a child and his mother. My mother isn't.